From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 29th, 2024. Israel's ground operation in Gaza continues against terror group Hamas. The IDF sharing that troops eliminated terrorists and destroyed terror infrastructure and weapons over the last 24 hours, including rocket launchers that were aimed at Israel and a terror tunnel that crossed from the north to the south of Gaza. The IDF said today that it continues targeted fighting in the area of Shifa Hospital while avoiding harm to civilians, patients, medical teams, and medical equipment. And last night, the IDF said it eliminated the head of manpower in Hamas's military wing, known to be among Hamas's top 10 senior commanders, and was responsible, the IDF said, for research and development and strengthening systems, as well as being the head of Hamas's production unit. He was found and eliminated during the ongoing operation at Shifa Hospital, attempting to escape along with two other terrorists into the hospital's courtyard. The IDF said part of a planned attack on IDF soldiers. And early this morning, in a targeted drone strike, the IDF said it eliminated a top-level Hezbollah terrorist in Lebanon. The IDF said he served as the deputy commander of the terrorist organization's rocket and missile unit, responsible for conducting and planning attacks against Israeli civilians. The International Court of Justice yesterday ordered Israel to increase the amount of basic humanitarian goods to the Gaza Strip, citing worsening conditions there. Israel's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lior Hayat wrote in response that Israel places no limitations on the amount of essential humanitarian aid that enters the Gaza Strip and will continue to promote new initiatives and to expand existing ones in order to enable and facilitate the flow of aid to the Gaza Strip, despite, he said, the operational challenges on the ground and Hamas's active and abhorrent efforts to commandeer, hoard, and steal aid. Hayat reiterated that Hamas is to blame for the situation in Gaza and was responsible for the war after its unprecedented terrorist attack on the state of Israel on October the 7th. Kogat, the IDF's arm that deals with assistance to Gaza, meanwhile, shared that 9 World Food Program food trucks made their way directly to northern Gaza overnight last night, citing that so far 47 trucks were transferred through this delivery channel directly to northern Gaza, and said we will continue expanding our efforts to facilitate aid into and across the Gaza Strip. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met yesterday with families of IDF soldiers who were abducted by Hamas on October the 7th and are among the 134 men, women, and children still being held by Hamas in Gaza. The Prime Minister telling the families, just as we have returned 123 of our hostages as of today, I am committed to returning everyone, all of them. I will not leave anyone behind. And said only continuation of the forceful military pressure that we have applied and will yet apply will return our hostages, will return everyone. The Times of Israel cited the Prime Minister's office saying today, after convening the Security Cabinet last night, that Netanyahu approved sending a high-level delegation back to Qatar and to Egypt to further negotiations for the release of hostages, who have now been held in Gaza for 175 days. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum in New York announced a major rally planned for a week from this Sunday that would mark a heartbreaking 6 months in captivity, writing it is crucial to keep the hostages in people's minds, prayers, and in the news. Speakers at the rally will include elected officials, rabbis, family members of the hostages, including the parents of hostage Hirsch Goldberg Poland, John Poland and Rachel Goldberg, as well as released hostages, taking place April the 7th at Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza in New York City at 12 noon. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, March the 29th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. Then it's Jewish Insights with Justin Pines featuring Kabbalist Rabbi David Aaron. And then Abigail Pogrebin speaks with author Francine Klagsbrun about the life and legacy of Henrietta Szold. At 10, it's David Harris defending Israel, and at 10:30, a replay of services from the Hampton Synagogue and from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 29th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom. Am Yisrael Chai.